advice would you give new mothers or family who are going through a similar experience?
Talk to somebody.
Talk to somebody.
Get a doula. Get a postpartum doula.
Oh wow, doula. Wait, because when she said doula, I thought you was talking about the other doula too, right?
The doula, what doula?
I thought you meant the death doula.
No, a doula is like a woman who helps with, if you need help with changing the baby.
Yeah, like that's
or
what
you're in pain.
It's a midwife, correct?
Similar to a midwife, but more of like support for the family.
Yeah.
So it's like a good space for the mom after she's given birth, instead of going to her family and their traditional beliefs, and someone who she can have as support, help, guidance, advice, whatever you can. I would suggest, I want to do it next time go around, because I see how helpful it is when you want to do something and you want to go shave your legs and you have someone there sitting with your baby, you know that the baby is safe and you're good, and your husband or whatever is working, and you can still be able to be yourself and have that support. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
And I also feel like don't feel guilty for feeling the way you feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes you
don't feel guilty.
And you feel so bad because it's like, you don't feel
like
guilty.
the pressure's on you being the mom. You want to be
It's
perfect
natural.
and look perfect.
Nobody,
and make sure
when they say it's no
is-
parenting book, it's really no book. Like, you're gonna mess up. You really learn every day.
And as I was saying about the friends, because that's that main thing, especially what I'm going through right now. Who you was before is not who you are now, and your friends have to understand
or
that.
Or they don't. They pack it up and leave.
Or they pack it up and leave,
and
because
they've been packing
right
up
now, like what exactly? And right now, like what I've been trying to really understand is how to balance my friendship, my friends, well, my friend, and my family. Yes, and it's very hard because. You know, I
can't devote that much time.
I can't.
And effort.
And
and
you
conversation.
Know, exactly.
Emotion.
It's very hard for me because of the fact that I'm already not a very I won't say I'm not social, but I'm not really a person that really likes. I get very what's the word? My social battery is it goes low, and ever since I had children, it's even worse. So before we used to go out all the time, all this other stuff, but now I don't really like to go out as much. I like to go out with my family.
I'm tired early.
Right. I'm going out with my boys, with my husband. That's what I like to do.
I'm tired early.
Right. I'm tired. I don't want to
be.
By
9 o'clock.
You understand what I'm saying? So it's just like I have a lot of things going on, and I just feel like when it comes to basically the balance of the friends, it's like your friends could be there for you. And be that person to help you get through whatever it is you need to get through. There are boundaries, and you need to know
and
where you
respect
are, and where the boundaries lie, and you can't cross those boundaries. You can't cross them. Yeah. So it's just yes, you might be giving me advice because you're seeing things and you want to give me advice on it, but remember not to cross my boundaries. You can say things in a certain way, and you don't have to be crossing someone's boundaries. You understand what I'm saying?
And respect where you're at. I get what you're saying.
Right.
Don't say certain things because I'm gonna feel away because that's my husband and that's where my family is.
Right,
I know.
Main
I know
example.
exactly what you mean.
Right.
A lot of people get
I had to cut people off because they don't watch their mouth.
And that's what I'm saying. They don't. And that's one thing that they don't tell you about. You don't realize a person until you get a family. You don't realize that until you get children. You don't realize that. No. I didn't realize that until I did. And it's just crazy because even for me right now, my sons, I got my son evaluated, right? And he's in early intervention right now because he has a speech delay. So we're doing, the everything, and then my son, I want to also get him evaluated. Just because it's not because I feel they have autism or anything like that. It's more so because I don't know if they do. So I want to be able to make sure that they're good because I don't want what happened to me.
The right needs
met. Because me,
they can fall on the wayside in education.
Exactly. And that happened to me. I was diagnosed with ADHD, and my family, they're African, so they don't believe in that at all. Right. They're like, no, you don't got no ADHD. You're just being lazy. You don't want to do it. You need to study more. And I'm like, I just really can't do it. You guys are not understanding. And I don't want to put my kids through that. So why I'm saying this is because I want to get my kids evaluated.
Make sure they're all right, and that's my own
that's
perception.
It. That's
really my opinion, how I feel.
Exactly.
And respect it.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're gonna face those times where you're gonna have that situation, and you're gonna be like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is about my kids. This is not really about how I feel.
I had to cut a family member off because my daughter is very opinionated. She's just like me.
Right.
And kids don't know their place when you're having a conversation with adults, and they try to chime in. Now, you have a relative you grew up with that doesn't understand, has no kids in the world. Still, my daughter's chiming in, oh no, she needs to know her place as a child. You have no kids, you don't know anything, and right now
I hate when
you're gonna get me hot. I have not spoken to her in a
I
year.
hate
I was like,
when
how
adults
dare
do
you?
that.
You're a child yourself.
Right.
And I was like, you don't even understand.
She's a whole human being. She has her own emotions,
She's her own emotions. How
mind.
dare you have? I can't control anyone but my damn self.
Right.
You know, and excuse me, control yourself.
Can I piggyback on what you guys are saying?
Yes, you can.
Just to say, like, so the main theme, at least in what you guys are saying, is kind of what I was gonna say, and it's pretty much two things. And I can elaborate if you want, and it's communication and accountability.
Yes.
You have to be accountable for yourself at all times.
Yes.
You have to be accountable for your family at all times. You have to be accountable for your significant other, partner, whatever label you have at
and
all
then your
times.
relationships.
And you need to communicate. You know, a wise woman once told me that in order to sustain your relationship and your family, you have to talk. And then after you're done talking, you have to talk some more.
Right.
And after that, you have to talk some more until you get it right. You have to keep talking.
You gotta keep talking.
You have to. You have to understand.
You have to meet somewhere.
Right. And you have to compromise.
But how do
too.
you know? How do you know where you're going if you don't communicate with
Right.
the family?
Exactly.
You can't execute a plan if we don't communicate it.
And communicating is not being nasty and rude, and you know, you just get in your way
Communicating is
out.
understanding you had a rough day. I'm gonna leave you alone.
But that's why
I'm gonna leave you alone.
accountability
You had a rough day.
and communication go hand in hand.
Right.
You have to be accountable. If I had a bad day and I come in and I'm speaking to you in a manner in which you don't want to be spoken to, I have to be accountable for that.
Right.
It's not my intention to hurt your feelings.
I was just about to say
it's
that.
It's not my intention.
But not
I
everyone thinks
apologize
that.
sincerely.
Right.
This is just what I feel. But if you don't express that, even
when you have children, you kind of just get that understanding. You know what I mean? Like, so certain things that you would say before you was a mother, oh, I would never do it with my child. You doing that?
Right. And then when she said that to me, and I'm like, girl, you don't have no kids, you're a baby.
So you wouldn't know.
You would never
know.
And therefore, since you don't know, you have to be removed.
Right. And I just say
You
this
just have
too,
to
like
be removed.
people that don't have children, it's like I feel like they sometimes feel like they have a say. And like, you know how women say like a man can't tell me about what I can do with my body and stuff like it's the same thing for a parent. You can't tell a parent about what they need to do and you don't got no kids. You can't do it. No, you can't do it because I'm telling you like you're not there, you don't understand, you're not in the mindset, you're not in my reality. You don't perceive things like how I do. There's no way.
Not
Never
that,
had a child.
With having a child,
Like, you understand?
With having a child, you have so much more patience, and it humbles you.
I agree.
And you look at things on a different perspective. You have more of a conscience behind you. Those that don't and don't know yet, it's a different understanding, and you see how they work and operate. It's very self-absorbed.
Right.
Very self-absorbed, and I am not self-absorbed.
Me neither. I'm not.
So it's hard. I see right through it.
Yeah.
And therefore, my space is like boundary. Create the boundary in this space.
And I feel like a lot of people don't realize as parents, like, we're still trying to figure it out.
Yes.
Like, day by day. So I don't need you telling me.
I'm trying to do the best I'm doing.
Right.
I'm just happy he put his shoes on the right foot
Thank
today.
you.
You don't even understand. That's a big
I might have
accomplishment.
given him
I don't
waffles.
need you to tell me that they don't. They're on the right foot.
Oh, they can't go.
Don't care.
They shouldn't be
It's
eating
one little
French
thing.
fries, and they shouldn't be doing.
Oh my God.
My thing is that listen, they ate, they're fine, everything
And
is
they're
good.
fed, and they're
They're
healthy.
fed. I
And
bring
they're
them to the
thinking well.
doctors. They're good. You know what I mean? Like for me, when I was going through my postpartum, you know, I just recently had like a really bad like I basically had like a so basically when I was doing my postpartum, at the time, you know, we were struggling really bad. And I couldn't get my sons to the doctors to get his shots. My first son, yes. My second son, no. Right. So when we came here, you know, I'm trying to get them in the district and everything, trying to get all this stuff together. And they're like, oh, we need their immunization papers. So my husband calls the people. You know, they end up finally sending it, and they're like, oh, like he hasn't gotten his shots for 2 months. Like I'm talking about like since he was 2 months. So you know how neglectful I felt. I felt like I was about to start crying.
Oh my God!
I remember I was at work. I was about to start crying.
That's awesome that you didn't though, because in a sense, because their bodies have to develop before.
No, but I ended up doing it now. But it was just the neglect that I had, feeling like
felt guilty.
Right, because I had to recently like go and get their shots, and I had to hold them down, and while they put the shots in, my son had to get 5 shots. So I was like crying with the nurse was like, I just don't know what I need to do for mom because I'm talking about my face was so
there's nothing
red.
could do.
I felt so because
And
I
did
was
you
like,
ever hear that song by Nas? It was like, my mom is waiting to comfort me, and then you're getting injected, and they're looking for comfort, and
no, I never
there's a
heard
song that talks
Really?
about it. Yeah, I think
Really?
J. Cole talked about it too.
Oh, I need to listen to that. I love J. Cole too. But yeah, it was very like scary for me because I was like, damn, like I really neglected my son. Like no way did I like 2 months. Like my other son, he was good, but then like my second son is like, and my second son was such a blur
Was
for
this during
me.
COVID? You had the baby too?
So I did. I
So
had
that
both
makes
of them.
sense. 'cause
2020 and
doing
2021.
COVID, you're gonna miss stuff.
Yeah, sometimes you have to give yourself
Yeah.
leeway, you know
You
what I'm
all
saying?
right.
Give yourself
Right,
grace.
Mom.
Give
You
yourself
all right. It was
grace.
during
That's the
COVID.
biggest
But you know,
thing.
you
Like,
as a
I'm
parent,
trying to
you
get Tom's
always
fan.
feeling guilty, like
About
all the
something.
time.
Oh my God! Like I didn't do
Yeah.
this. I
But you
did
can't
that.
be
Yeah.
you can't be so hard on yourself. The one thing that like I think a lot of people forget also, and something else that should be kind of told to people's advice is that children are resilient.
Yeah,
They
that's
are,
true.
they
Very
are,
much so.
they are much stronger than we believe.
Oh,
They-
yeah.
You know there are
Oh, yeah.
babies
Oh, yeah.
and they're precious, but
Yeah.
they are extremely
Oh
resilient.
yeah, my boy.
They are.
My son fell off the thing at the park, the stairwell, the little monkey bars, whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it, and he had busted eyebrow. I'm sitting there freaking out, and he's just
Chilling.
like just looking at me, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, mine jumped.
What's going
Mine jumped. The 3-year-old. Well, the 4-year. He's 4 now. He just turned 4 like 2 weeks ago. He jumped off the deck like the where.
Superman.
So like you know
Spider-Man.
like the bars like they were broken. So he like opened it, and then he like jumped off, and I was like,
I feel like with boys, they give you a heart attack
right. I said,
3 times a day.
and he just like swinging on the sling, and I'm like, bro, what did you just
Listen.
jump? And it's mad high. I'm like, no way. And then like my husband is like, oh my God, he just jumped off the deck, and I'm just like, I'm not really the one that's like overreactive. He is. He's the one that's like, oh my God, they're fighting. They can't be doing. They're boys. Relax.
They're gonna definitely.
Like, but he was the only child,
Yeah.
so I grew up
Just
5
like you
kids.
said, their roots are
Listen,
apart.
man, I don't even.
Please.
Yeah, nah, this is nothing. He won, so he's just like, no, they can't. Like, you know, so yeah, I'm like, relax, it's fine. Like, you know, but when he jumped off that deck, though, I was like, wow, okay.
That reminds me of like the drunk friends.
I told you,
Why would you
Tom
do
was
that?
a drunk.
What did you tell the truth?
This was drunk little people.
It just sounded like a good idea at the moment. It just went
Yeah,
with
they
it.
did. They did. Yes, they did.